Welcome, this is your man Overload Cringes, and we're back with Genshin Impact. Tell me pigeons are fearless today.
Healthy mind.
Tell me your pigeons are fearless today. Fuck you, tell me. Fuck you, tell me. Should I? Shouldn't I? Should I wait for FURINA? I got a guarantee. Should I wait? Oh, should I? Shouldn't I? I don't know. It's eating on me. Don't. Eat that chicken. Yes, eat it. Eat that chicken. Eat that chicken. Eat that chicken. Don't mind if I just insert myself here.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing.
I do have some thoughts, but let's take things step by step. Didn't we already do that?
Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Impossible is a stretch. It's highly possible if Cowell is the killer and he faked his death, which is highly the likely thing that happened.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands.
Everybody takes out their vuvuzelas.
Besides,
Supporting them
I
from the
doubt
stands.
FURINA understands any more about what happened than we do.
True.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Rena didn't even investigate. She was like, guilty! Take him to prison. Go. Wait, isn't the prison in the courthouse? Courthouse! Take him to courthouse!
Best of luck to you.
Peace out, Navia. Bianca, Gina, Durandal. She has so many names. The strongest Valkyrie. Hi, guys.
Finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
Seriously, bro. It's cold out here in Fontaine compared to Sumeru. Why are you dressed like that?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Do they both get arrested, or is it just Lene? Because if Lynette is getting arrested with him, then it's more reason for me to be fervent about this, but I need to find out first before I get excited.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed.
Bitch, you didn't even investigate. You sent your minions. You were like, go minions. Tell me what I want to hear. You two go to court.
That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence.
And if they do, what, you're going to be baffled? What if the thing is, I'll say it again. You can't force him to tell you where the girl is if he doesn't know that information.
But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Yo, you realize it's a court case about someone's life and you're treating it like some sort of sport, dumbass.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session.
I have this character on my second account.
Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Explain the trick. Explain them. So they didn't even tell you how the trick works? Okay, in order for the audience to understand, I get it. Right?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
We're redoing the thing. Yay! Free show! Free show! Lynette clearly reveals the details of the magic trick. Everyone in the audience is stunned.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yeah, if he says yes.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady FURINA, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have some sort of achievement if FURINA loses this.
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying.
And the audience goes, oh, my dear gods! Oh, good gracious lords!
There is no
Oh,
way
God.
you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
Yeah, she clearly didn't investigate.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
Wait.
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
I'm waiting to refute her. When do I get to play?
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
I mean, that could have been someone banging in the next room.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
How could Lene not know about that sound?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Bro, you were not right by the box. Shut up.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
They probably represent the origin stands on the trial.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to
I so
use the
badly want to
words
skip
the
because every
magician
time she
himself.
talks, I'm irritated.
You never know.
Shut up.
Of course, I have
When do I
proven
play?
myself to do far more than smash your
When do I get to play?
Confidence cannot go unfounded. And
When do I get to
my
play?
Foundations are
You talk too
rock
long.
solid.
I need to shut her up now.
Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Heart?
I am from the House of the Heart.
The House of the Hearth?
They're Futui?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
Guys, we are making a very... Nah, it's not a bro assumption. I mean,
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
yeah, when do we get to
That's
talk?
irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute.
You're supposed to accuse us of something so we can refute it.
To prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
I mean, you're making assumptions, yeah.
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy.
The burning rage inside of me wants to get out and stab every NPC in this building. Only then will I be sated.
Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Rage and bloodthirst burns brightly. Alright.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you...
Lene and Lynette are Fatui.
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady FURINA has
Why
raised
aren't we
2
talking?
points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about a magician's ability to con others. Given how Lene has concealed his identity, this could have all been a setup beforehand. Plus, Dortali is in 14, along with other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now I'm defending
Please
them.
answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Can I talk, damn it?
Granted.
My client has withheld some key information. My defense cannot proceed.
In that case, what is your request?
I request a brief adjournment. There are some things that must be discussed.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
Shut up,
The
NPC.
defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say!
Better get that order, Nouvelle. Get that order.
Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought.
Bitch, how about you stop antagonizing us and chill the fuck out?
In that case, my dear audience, Let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
It's simmering. It's bubbling on the surface. I want to stab, but I have no knife around me. I do. I have a knife. I have a knife.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up.
Bro, you just had to tell us that shit and none of that would have happened.
I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Do you even know the history of us and the Fatui at this point?
Yeah, sorry.
You can be sorry all you want, guys. Fatui means we do not trust you. And if we do, we are dumb.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad!
You need to wear your glasses to be neutral in the situation, Paimon.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain.
Do we have to listen to him? Fatui boy made us look like fools in front of the whole Fontaine, thus making people make our opinions worthless. So if Mother Father appears at any time and accuses us of something, people will take us like we're assholes.
I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset.
You don't even know the half of it. You don't even know the half of it, bro. You don't even know the half of it. Yeah, I know you've clashed with Fatui several times before. Brother. Several times. One almost death. 2 countries almost collapsed. 1 economy almost fucked. You don't know the half of it, bro. And Jean's still busy rolling with the Fatui there in one stack.
But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Oh, tell me about it. Yet each and every one of them wants to take over a city somehow.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
From?
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face.
I feel like you guys are under Stockholm Syndrome because Mother Father decided to tell you, oh no, we are saving them by sending them to Snezhnaya.
I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends.
Just basically tell us, yes, we're saving them. We're saving them. Here, have this tea. Oh no, she passed out. Put on boat.
That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
But how do we know this isn't all just another lie?
Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point.
Oh, so we don't have to feel guilty about it. Let's go!
You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too.
And you guys kind of knew who we are from the instant that we arrived here, yes?
But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
So you are a criminal!
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Hey, look, I don't know about you guys, but the amount of times I've fought Fatui, there's only one Fatui I trust, Tartaglia. Because even if he were the one to tell us that it wasn't him, it wouldn't be him. He's not bullshitting us. And if he did do it, he would have been like, hey yo, yeah, it was me. It was me. Look, I wanted to get into that court case so I can get back into the arenas and kick some ass. After that, you don't trust any Fatui. Tartaglia is direct. Tartaglia won't bullshit you. Tartaglia is life, like Shrek.
Well, you both say that, but...
Where did you actually go while the trick was being performed?
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now!
I can't believe you guys still believe in them.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask.
Dumbass, you should have told them from the beginning if you knew that this information like this was going to come up. Therefore, we already fucked because the whole audience think that you're guilty and our opinions matter less. We just got here today, damn it.
We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it.
Okay.
From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box.
Okay.
So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
And what did you find?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room.
Could have been someone at the bottom of the room.
That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came.
Peace out!
On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
I still believe Carl will fake these deaths, I'm just saying.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
But why do you want to understand how the Orochi's operates?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
Yes, we are just going to commit crime and get secret and send it off to Snezhnaya. Yes.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
Yes, Mother Father really indoctrinated you to her. Mother Father was like, look yo, we need to save everybody. Even if it means we need to break a couple of laws.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time.
Except for the fact that we're sending everything back to Snezhnaya.
It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either.
If that was never your wish, you would have told us you were part of the Fatui before the trial started, dumbass. What's the point of having a trial if they're not even gonna take us seriously? We get in there and everybody already made up their damn mind. Once people made up their mind, to unconvince them of the bullshit is a lot more difficult than you think. Or haven't you played Danganronpa? Danganronpa, everybody's convinced of someone else. And then Nahegi has to shoot himself in the foot, shoot them in the foot, shoot Monokuma in the foot. Monokuma shoots him, he has a bullet inside him, starts shooting other people in the foot. And then, only then are they convinced. He has to hold gun to their feet before they're convinced. Damn.
But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Bye, have a good time.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
I believe that I'm going to Sumeru again. Goodbye. There's a reason why I'm running Dendro, okay? I believe that judgment will be dispensed as it should.
Okay, thank you.
Don't thank me.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
We're not giving you a chance. I'm giving a chance to justice.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two.
Don't make me change to Pyro. I will donut you. Don't make me donut you.
If
For
we
my
want
justice.
to shoot the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Actually, we already have the key evidence we need.
Huh?
Oh, the German.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Lene claims it enters the chamber. Lene claims I've heard a mysterious voice. Chamber. Do we get to play now? Because I'm gonna be really annoyed if we don't get to play now.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady FURINA as fact. Therefore, Lady FURINA may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention.
Yeah, our voice is starting to get annoying now.
At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
More assumptions, I guess. Based on the opposition's account of... Oh, it's wrong. Based on the opposition's account of it, you could identify loopholes in their statement. Use evidence as clues obtained during investigation to refute any erroneous assertions, or any erroneous assertions, or fact, and replace them with new inferences. Use your refutations to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. The authorities will display self-shifts clearly. When you find and refute all incorrect content, you can complete the cycle of refutation and unveil the truth.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel.
Okay.
When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud.
How do I refute this?
He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound.
Can I refute that?
Finally, he used the vase to knock her out before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her.
Alright.
At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny red-handed.
Bro, Cowell died on stage.
So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box.
Cowell was on stage.
Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the...
I don't want to hear this bitch anymore.
And there you have it.
Does the defendant's side have any objection?
The key to refuting Lady FURINA is...
Yeah, I would like to make... Wait, I don't do this. I do this. Is this one? Linne's statement.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Okay. Linny knocked... hold on. Linne kidnapped Halsey, so in order of things that happened, Linne went downstairs into a vent to investigate the auditories. And he heard a voice. So which one would it be? The vent? He said, no one left the opera house, the medical office that able to where they just clear back outside. There was an audible thump. And it had nothing really to do with the dress right now, so it's voice.
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Now, Cowell out. I mean, this is underground, right? Linne went to the underground, he heard the voice, and when he came back, he noticed the vase and the clothes. The clothes belonging to Halsey, alright?
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
Alright, Ace Detective Paimon.
Countdown started. Linny did indeed go into the tunnel, but he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored.
Gasp! You monster!
Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately.
Some are more amused at Paimon being a lawyer than FURINA being annoying. I was supposed to feel that way.
The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Innocent, I say. Neutral. Bullshit. Bullshit. These people made up their minds. Bullshit. FURINA could shit on the floor and everybody would do the same thing afterwards.
Paimon actually managed to say all that. Wasn't it awesome?
Hey, at least we can delegate the work. I don't have to say shit. I just have to change pictures and throw evidence.
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
Moreover, I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
The onstage equipment was clearly tampered with in a premeditated fashion. However, you say that Cowell bumped into Linne by chance.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Ba-boom,
Oh, they have a point.
Bullshit. This crowd isn't that smart. I call bullshit. This isn't Danganronpa levels of obstinance.
That's right, you tell him! And that
partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
I just want him to go to one of Junko's trials once.
Well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
Do you not happen to remember how you refuted Luna's alibi initially?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
Your claim has also become a critical clue. Yeah, he wasn't because...
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought?
Then it's the second one. Hey, brain no working, man.
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance.
Okay.
This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
What's annoying about this game? And hear me out, someone tell me I'm fucking wrong, right? This was supposed to be a moment where Traveler could be cool. Traveler could be speaking right now. In Stardew, the main character has moments where he's fucking kicking ass. In this game, Traveler's getting beat down, and everything that's cool isn't the Traveler's doing, it's Paimon. So the Traveler just comes off as extremely mid, while Paimon's doing all the things that the Traveler should be doing. So he's just a mute guy that fights every now and then, and not even fights, because no one uses him in the first fucking place. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm a bit irritated right now.
Well played.
Sit down in the court. Sit down in the court.
To think you'd use such logic.
Yeah, you better not.
Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Cowell. It's Cowell. The deceased faked his death. Guard's investigation report indicates that the fireworks released near the end of the show ignited and burned through the rope suspending a water tank above the stage. This caused the water tank to fall and kill Cowell in the box below. If Lene is no longer under suspicion, only other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. Lene gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using the box inside the box, the idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath. Lene himself would also use this tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed the outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of an on-stage interactions. The clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. It's Cowell. That's Cowell, right?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
It's Cowell. I've been saying this whole time. I've been saying this since it started. Since the person died, I was like, it's him. It's a dead guy, right?
That can't be right. Are you serious?
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your...
Shut up.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
Okay. How can you listen having to be
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
Well, how can I prove there was an altercation? The dress.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would...
What's that other stuff?
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
That would be an After Effect, so it's this one.
The sound we heard may have...
Who is the prime suspect currently?
The deceased's name is Cowell.
Right? Where did the missing Halsey go?
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
What's the last one?
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into... No one entered or left... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Alright, is 2 hypotheses incorrect?
It would have been tough for both...
The criminal must have understood the methods behind Linnea's magic trick and must have been in position to easily modify the equipment. Leaving aside how he died, Cowell had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. The strange noise could have likely been the sound of Cowell and Halsey struggling. Linnea was not in the tunnel for 1 minute. This would have given time for Cowell to bring Halsey out of the magic box in the audience stands. But according to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, so even if he had taken her, there'd be no means of exiting. Exiting from the box would have been in full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing that it would be discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where in the world did Halsey go?
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track?
Sorry if I'm skipping FURINA, because, I mean...
Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
Whatever you say, fanboy.
Only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Magic? Escaping from the water tank. Wait, could it have been the water? Sorry, I don't want to yell. I don't want to yell this bitch right now. I'm sorry, everybody.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Yes, we have something to say. Hold on! Take that!
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances.
Where did the missing Halsey go? So that's not saying where she went.
It would have been tough for both people to fit into
That's not saying where she went.
The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence.
That's not telling where she went.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been...
That's the only one that's alluding to where she could have went. Alright, it's that one. No, it's not.
No one entered or left.
New information?
It's not broken.
Okay, it's new information. I thought it could have been the clothing, but alright, whatever.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
When everything that's impossible... when everything that is fact seems impossible, only the impossible shall be truth.
Just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment.
Yeah, you're really unprofessional, you know that, right?
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality.
Shut up, bitch, I'm trying to talk.
Talking about here, not some magic trick.
I request that we examine Cowell's personal effects. You might find something there.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's appearance is...
Hydrovision, dumbass.
Even so, I trust the traveler's judgment.
Kryn.
The truth must be out there.
Cringes.
Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, We haven't placed much attention on him.
I've been saying this the whole time.
Given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of hair.
I can't wait. I am so excited. I am so excited to win this case.
The suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Really, bitch?
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress.
Never, let's just chill. This dude got the drip though. I'm kind of wanting to pull him, but I need to wait on FURINA.
Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
Is he still on stage? Have you got rid of him?
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste.
Okay.
We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately.
Drugs.
The
Wait, this isn't binary.
Backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice.
Well, look who's changing face structure now.
The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject.
So people get turned into water, rob the shit out of everybody blind, and then bounces. They turn back into water and then they bounce. Sounds familiar. Sounds like a person from Naruto.
As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
Thank you, Esmond. I knew I liked this guy.
You gotta be kidding! People dissolving into water?
It could be you next.
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Maybe it'll be you next.
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Next, I'm telling you, next.
If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
You guys realize you still can't leave the courthouse, right?
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
Never late. He puts his foot down, an earthquake starts to happen. But only in the water. And the water causes tsunamis.
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results. But we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
You mean Traveler? aka Cringes, aka me, right?
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor.
He's not defending himself.
If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hut! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Water from the primordial seas? Who is the prime suspect currently? Cowell.
The deceased.
Shut up, it's him. What item did he use to control the timing of the dissolution?
Lynette was in the magic box on stage. I remember there was something else within the inner... Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time.
The timing of the dissolution? What else we got?
The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and...
It's not that.
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
What item did the culprit use to control? There's only 3 items being showed and 2 of them are not even there. So, boom. What else we got?
The water from the primordial...
We use water. Man, the ocean, it was right. Everything really does turn into water.
The rope that held the water tank.
No? Not the rope?
I remember there was something else. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time.
He's using Lynette. No. Lynette.
I remember there was something.
Hey, I tried. I gave it a whirl. I guess the last one, I wasn't even paying attention to what he said. Tired, okay, man? I've been sick for like years now.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again!
Shine, Paimon! Oh no, she's shining too brightly! Ah!
In the original plan, Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box the metal hooks would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
I like how the audience, the NPCs, the not very people-important persons, is speaking out most of the time.
Actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Bitch, you randomly just said, oh, it's him. It must be him. When you could have just not mentioned his name, we investigated, and then accused people.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence.
Guards!
Now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Guards! Where's Esmond? What did you do with Esmond?
We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be.
Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring...
Ah, shut up. I'm sorry.
Did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial...
Now Cowl's the accomplice?
But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon.
The tool, okay.
Now, as much as I regret...
Cowl was standing next to the box. Is everybody just ignoring this?
Am I right?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. Is this the end of the road?
Yo, Traveler, every time you say that, then...
Oh no! Seems using the water as new...
I think we've all seen enough now.
I'm getting irritated.
Ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is in...
That's not your call to make. That's not your call to make. Nufla, shut this bitch up, please.
Now then, my good, noble...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
I object!
Miss, I must ask you not...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
This is a random woman, she's crazy, don't listen to her.
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are...
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance?
Yeah, let's just shock and awe everybody again. She's using FURINA's own tricks against her. Nice going for it, Navia.
Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf.
You mean Salva did all the work?
But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
This really, why didn't they make Traveler say something like this? But couldn't Navia just get arrested now?
I understand.
And voila.
Nani?
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial.
Okay.
I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it, she caught me.
She's part of the Fatus?
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
That's why she was so nervous. I see.
What? Why?
That's why she was so nervous.
My name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt.
Oh no, you're interjecting Jean into this.
I heard that Linny's show was going to be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one.
Oh, it's the chick that stole it from the beginning. I was wondering where that bitch came from. So I didn't record that part, but it's a chick that was stealing things from people suspiciously. We tried chasing her and she disappeared.
That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief.
Sagius!
Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box.
Into the box.
There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes.
So the box I was looking at and alluding to the whole time in the previous video, she was hiding in?
I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
If they practice hand at concealment, probably. Professional thief could make it work.
But I swear I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
I steal, I don't kill.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
Yeah, now it's time to refute the Hydro Arcaning's previous reasoning.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lily-Ann's perspective.
Wait, it's the wrong song. Sorry for the baby sky in the background. Linnae into the tunnel. Halsey dissolved. No. Since strange sound, it would then be fighting. What is it? Halsey dissolved, an open has fallen to the ground. Tampered thing. During a switching performance, there was an audible thump that the audience members heard. That would be the knocking out, I think. Many people says a broken flower vase on one side of the tunnel. Water has been spilled. That would be this. Okay, that would be this one, right? Oh. Now let's just do it in order then. Sound. Okay.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lilianne's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Okay. Infighting between Lene and Cowell. She knocked him out. She knocked him out.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but it was smashed during the struggle between Lilianne and Cowell.
And Lilianne, and then the baby as in the background by me, Lily, is crying a lot, huh? Knock Cowell out, and the next one is... What does the clothes have to do anything? When rope has fallen to the ground, a metal hook has been tied to one end of this rope, used to pop the balloon atop the magic. Clothes?
Lilianne was afraid that she would...
Oh, okay, I see. Because the clothes are part of the...
hid, biding her time.
Okay, I see. That was the things I called out previously. Yeah, Paimon, that's not how they went on in Danganronpa. You're kind of pausing the music here.
Having been selected out of the blue, Lilianne panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard.
Kicking the door within the fofo. Earlier was Lilianne, don't hit me no more.
Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lilianne had not dissolved.
Gasp, shock and awe.
He did not know that Lilianne was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket.
Shock and awe.
Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lilianne back into the box.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lilianne came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box.
Well, Lilianne pretty strong. You can see she's from Mondstadt because the chicks in Mondstadt are quite powerful. Mondstadt and Inazuma. Liyue, the chicks are important. Powerful is a secondary question. And Sumeru, the chicks... Yeah, I don't know. Most of the dudes are the strong ones in Sumeru, right? Because, I mean, who do we have that would fit in lore-wise as really strong? There's Daya, Candace. Nilo, no. Nahida? Not really. Who else? Who else have we got? Like, in Liyue, all the chicks are extremely useful, I would say. I'm talking lore-wise. Lore-wise, Youngling's just the cook that knows fire techniques. Gameplay-wise, Youngling's another version of a pyro orc and battling Venti on who's better.
With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Ended!
That she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
Man, no one even... She stole the macaroons!
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons.
You bitch! I hope you get arrested!
Right?
I hope they kill you! Give her the chair!
Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Shut it. You understand why I'm putting over anger towards the NPCs, right?
Bravo! Bravo!
I want to kill you all.
Now then, Lady FURINA, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady FURINA. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
You getting off a high horse there, Nicolette?
What? Are you reading my mind now?
Do it! Do it! Read your mind, Nicolette!
No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really,
awesome.
Could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow! Look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now!
Ha ha! You who were so cocky to accuse a random person without any evidence. You just like, must be him. Must be him. Look, bro, we could have done the investigating first, not let anybody out of the courthouse for at least a couple of hours to figure out what is going on. Then accuse Lene when we figured out pieces are pointing to him, not everything, not just random. Bro, we didn't even look at anything. The boxes fell on the dude's head. We didn't even know if it was an accident yet. And she was like, yeah, Lene.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events.
Oh man, this is exactly like Dagaruba.
The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved.
I mean, there was easier things to do, man. Like, I mean, she beat herself. That always works. Lactation. Other womanly fluids.
He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid.
I remember the balloons.
Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water.
I want the bullet so bad, but I can't fucking decide because FURINA needs to do a lot to make me decide to pull for her. She needs to do a lot. I don't want a character that's gonna annoy me on the screen, bro. She needs to do something.
If all
do it, FURINA, before I pull this
dude. The young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim.
Who was standing next to the box?
Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house.
As we know, if they're naked, they're not actually naked.
As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
And we are done. Huzzah!
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately,
truly,
this case at least can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
And then falls to FURINA's side randomly. So the courtroom is alive. What's this, Hogwarts?
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
And we are done! Huzzah!
Victory for Ace Detective Paimon!
Paimon? You know I was there too, right?
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Let's not celebrate just yet. You're still Fatous at the end of the day.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dare to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes?
I knew when Esmond didn't come out something was wrong.
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
Coupon Town? Either that's hell, or it sounds like an awesome place.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes?
They're going to give him the chair.
Therefore,
It's one day. We're going to drown him.
You know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Turn him to water and leave him in a jug.
Yes! I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration.
Okay.
We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
Bah!
What?
He turned into water. Ha!
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
And we're done. However, nothing is found on the scene apart from liquid left behind after the fall dissolved.
So, we're just going back now?
The problem seems to have been solved for now. We're not needed here anymore. Let's get to Sumeru as quick as possible.
That's true, but...
Deus, waiting on us. Let's go.
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Nope. Gonna find Totalia. I'm going to Sumeru. Totalia, we need to go. No fighting. No fighting. We're leaving. Oh, okay. Totalia just walks out all depressed.
Lenny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me.
Bro, if we do any cahoots with the fucking Fatui, we'll be going against all the problems that we fixed that they caused until now. You said several? Bro, it was at least a dozen times. And the problem is, in those dozen times, our lives were in so much danger. I'm surprised I didn't kidnap Paimon yet.
But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
I just didn't want to see anyone be falsely accused.
I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight.
Straight? You?
I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time.
And what happens when Father Mother comes back and says, you mustn't go to him as Linnae anymore? You have a mission? Do it or drink this tea.
As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all.
Yes, they're pulling off a danzo. They grab orphans and then they raise these orphans into thinking the way they do, and they're like, alright, when we need you to do this shit, you do this shit, or we give you this tea.
That was how Father,
Mother,
you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
Bro, you think I'm going to trust children raised by the Knave? Are you serious?
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
No!
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past.
The cinema anime of Honkai Star Rail, a recent update, where Topaz messages Bronya giving a sob story and then expects everybody to be like, oh, sad. Maybe we should listen to her. I immediately was like, I know something ain't right here. You first strongly arming Bronya, not giving time to explain, and then acting like a dick the whole time. I'm sorry. The whole reason why I'm not pulling for Topaz It's that reason. That quest made me not pull for Topaz. And Jingliu, she's just there to chill. She's like, alright, I want to see my friends before I get taken to court and then take over the Lao Fu. But, yeah. Okay. That's why I'm not pulling for Topaz. I got Jingliu though. That's good.
Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets.
Okay.
To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks.
Okay.
I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there.
Magic tricks. It's another word for stealing, right?
To my
pickpocketing.
We proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever.
It means you just didn't find the right avenues. I mean, wait, isn't this Fontaine? Bro, not even Mondstadt has orphans. How bad is Fontaine?
Before long, an
does Inazuma have orphans?
Claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
I don't think they do. What's that one kid with the ball that you must find? Where he wants you to play games the whole time. What's that one kid? I forgot what the game was called. Is he an orphan? Would he be counted as an orphan? I think he's a ghost. That doesn't count as orphan.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days.
And you don't realize now there was all part of a plan? The knave?
But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
And then they started taking advantage of you.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was.
Sure.
After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts.
You killed him, right?
The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Well, time to get stabbing. Start stabbing? This is the time I start stabbing. You did start stabbing, right?
Oh, no. Oh, he was... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Villains? So what happened after that?
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness,
smiling awkwardly.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
Well, good for you guys. The knave saved you.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans.
For a city to do with court cases, right? They are clearly heavily undermined by criminals. Let me guess, it's to do with the fact that you make court cases a show for random NPCs. You know, if we could just get enough people in the audience that the oratories would just be like, alright, the crowd is yelling for the left, go with the crowd.
Father, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here.
But should you betray, we'll give you drink this tea. Drink tea. Drink tea.
I was hesitant to trust her. I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
I like that she's stab first, ask questions later.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
The knave is after the Gnosis, isn't she?
She has her own plans.
And you don't plan to tell us, the two people the most affected by the Futui, her plans, right?
She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
I don't believe this until I see it, okay?
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
Let me give you a story. There was once a woman known as Ash, means Senora. Senora bitch slapped Venti outside. Oh, we saved the monster. Senora then proceeded to freeze me, bitch slap Venti, kick him in his side, then put her hand in his chest, not his boobs, his chest, and then take out the Gnosis. So
that's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland.
Don't forget, Lady Arlecchino did have to stay in Fontaine to become a member of Harbingers.
To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
You sound a lot like Tartaglia, you know that, right?
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
I'm sorry, but I still can't completely trust you. And I clap for that, bro. I clap for that. I don't trust him for a second.
It's alright. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you.
Bro, we can talk, we can have a cup of tea, but everything you say is cap until proven otherwise.
I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the house, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right.
Bro, we've had other Futui tell us that same thing. Tartaglia said, oh yeah, I want to beat your ass, and then proceeded to become our friend. Think about that for a second. He wanted to kill us, and instead chose to be our friend. You, on the other hand, you are our friend, and then Knave is like, snap his neck, send him to court, he must go to jail, he can be accused of something from us, or we can put him in the lands of the criminals, let him do the job for us. It's gonna happen. I'm calling this. If it doesn't happen, I'll be shocked.
Feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
But what if it gets in the way of Futui Linny? Goodbye!
Bye, Linny!
Peace out! Alright, I'm done. Baby's crying in the background. Mom went to work, so baby's not crying. Dad is busy trying to make sure she is soothed. And I'm just here chilling doing a video. This is my end of the cringes. I want you to like, subscribe, smack your face with the keyboard a couple of times, and the notifications always, so we can check out all the links in the description, especially our main channel, Exhausted Genshin. Exhausted Gamers, our main channel, where I'm playing Resident Evil 4. And yeah, pray for me.
The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy.
The burning rage inside of me wants to get out and stab every NPC in this building. Only then will I be sated.
Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Rage and bloodthirst burns brightly.